Okay, so basically what we're going to do, I'm going to tip this thing over on one side, and then we're just going to, before we do that, we're going to split the hide on the inside, but then we're just going to peel the hide back off this entire side. We're going to cut the shoulders, the hindquarters, we'll take the back strap, and then we'll cut the ribs off and we'll clean those up later. And what I'm going to use to split this hide up on this thing is just a little razor knife with a hook blade in it. It does cut a little bit of hair, but it makes this part way easier to just split this right down to his foot. You got to be super careful with these razor knives though. If you slip, take your finger off. So we just split that there. And then we're going to do the same thing here. So we'll split this right up underneath its head, right up to its throat. Because we want to take the neck meat too. Finish that. And then out again to its wrist, its paw. Okay, and then we'll take our knives and we'll just start skinning all of this back. So when you're skinning these, you just want to get that tissue. These spring bears will never have much fat on them, but in between the tissue and that meat, or the skin and the meat, and you do want to try to keep as much hair off of these as you can when you're skinning. But we'll just keep working this back until we get this whole side done. We'll lay it back on its side, take the meat off, do the exact same thing on the other side. So when you cut this hide back off this, you want to try to go past halfway. It'll make it a lot easier when we start taking that other side. When we start trying to get that hind quarter off. Okay, so we should be able to, let's see where this is going to kind of go. And I'll try to keep it on the hide there. And I think what we'll do before we go finishing this up is we'll go ahead and get that hind quarter off so it doesn't end up down in the dirt. Okay. So here, we're gonna just take this stomach lining out of the way. And then we're gonna start, there's a bone that comes right through here. We're gonna take the tenderloins out, which are these two chunks of meat here. So you just want to start, the spine's right in the middle. Okay. So you just kind of, they just sit in kind of a cradle there in between the, then we'll cut that off at the top. So you could probably do this easier from where you're sitting. And these come right down and attach into the, close to where the joint is in the hip here. We'll get some of this stuff out of the way. And you can feel these kind of short ribs off the back here, so you just want to stay just above those. And this will peel right out of there.
Since those are smaller, do you want to put those in the bag with the...
Yeah, we could do that. And we'll just follow that right down here. And let's cut that off. And we're going to start right here on this pelvis, right up against that bone, and just start. All you got to do is just follow the bone.
Okay.
There's a joint in there that we'll come to here in a second, but that bone, that pelvis runs all the way up here. So there you can see the joint.
Okay, yep.
And we need to be on the outside of that. There's a little hole in the pelvis right there, but... keep pretty close to the ribs there. And there's no bone to go, kind of go in between here, but you stay close to the ribs, and then you can just kind of see this connective tissue. You can just kind of separate that. And then this basically goes right down to the, I'll take that to you, right down to the spine. Okay, lift it up, there we go. Okay, so while Preston's working on getting that paw off, we're gonna tip this thing back over here a little ways, just kind of, and the next thing that we'll do is take the back strap out, which is the chunk of meat that runs in between the spine, or on each side of the spine. You can usually find right here. There's a, you can kind of see where it separates from the ribs. My knife's getting a little dull.
Yes, that's mine.
And this back strap comes all the way back to the top of the pelvis here. So,
hey, got that one off pretty easy.
nice.
Front ones are way easier.
Just cut that right down to the ribs. Kind of follow that line of right up into the bottom of the neck here, and then you just follow the ribs around. Okay. So the first thing you have to do here is split it. As close as you can up the center of the chest. Take that right down there, and then we'll get under this meat. And start taking these ribs off. Fine tooth blade.
Right.
A fine tooth saw. A coarse one. It's a nightmare. It keeps getting hung up and you're just jerking stuff around. All right, so we're half done. Woo.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll just do the same thing to the other side. You can see where Preston's second shot went straight through, right behind the front shoulder, took out both lungs. Bam! We'll put that neck in one of the bags and the head in another one, and we'll load up our packs.
So that this is what a carcass should look like if the hunter does take all the meat.
So we are going to keep the skull. We are going to keep the skull. I'm going to show you. I got a video on how to do a European mount on bear skulls. I'll put the link in the description. But the gut pile, minus the heart and the liver, this is what we're leaving. The pelvis, the spine, and a chunk of hide. That's it. Everything else is going to get loaded up in our packs.